All right, I am back with a brand new movie review. And if you haven't seen it yet, please check out my review from 3 years ago that I just posted earlier today for the movie Extraction. I dug deep for that video. I shared a video that I did with a friend of mine 3 years ago during the pandemic. And I wanted to put that up before I did my movie review for Extraction 2. Now, I've been wanting to do this review for a while. I have a lot of videos I need to make and get some of these reviews out there. And if you haven't already, please like the video, subscribe, hit that notification bell. You won't miss the reviews that I do. I cover all kinds of movie news, TV show news, as well as DC, Star Wars, Indiana Jones. Those are my beloved franchises, and I do almost daily videos on DC. Things are a little slow right now because of the writer's strike, but I'm putting up as many videos as I can get out there for you guys, and I do appreciate the support, especially on these movie reviews. So let's talk about Extraction 2. This movie is written by the Russo brothers again, and I really like the Russo brothers a lot. They're the ones that did Captain America Winter Soldier. These guys know action. They know how to direct really well, and I was happy to see them back as the writers in this film. And we do have Chris Hemsworth back as Tyler Rake. And we find out a lot more about Tyler Rake in this particular movie. He is joined by some characters that we were introduced to in the first film. And I'm not going to give anything away. I'm not going to spoil this movie in any way because I do believe people should go to Netflix. You should check it out. And I'm going to give you my score at the end and tell you what I thought, compared to the first Extraction. But coming off the first Extraction, I was really excited to see this movie. Quite excited. And it was nice to see Chris Hemsworth back in the role that the first movie left him with. And it didn't happen the way I was expecting. There was a special moment at the end of the first film that I really thought brought it full circle and was unexpected for me. And I was hoping they would kind of trail off of that in this film, and they really don't. But that doesn't mean there aren't story threads that trail over from the first film into this one, because there certainly are. We find out a lot more about Tyler Rake himself, his backstory, and this movie is definitely very much tied to him. And so it doesn't look like it on the surface, but there are events that happen during the film that do tie it all together quite nicely. And we find out more about John and his family as well. So that's all I'm going to spoil as far as this film goes. Now, let's talk about the action, the acting, and how it all comes together. So this film is another one of those high-budget Netflix productions. And one of the things that surprised me about the first film is it seemed like a full-on Hollywood blockbuster. And as time has gone on, I actually enjoyed that film a lot more than when I first saw it. So this film here definitely has some moments in it that have some interesting action sequences that haven't been done in films before. But then on the other hand, there are some things that are ripped directly out of some games, like Uncharted. There's a whole sequence on a train, and it just was very reminiscent of some stuff you might have seen in The Last of Us or on something like Uncharted. It was nothing new. And, we've had Uncharted. That game has been, especially Uncharted 2, has been used in different movies. The director of, I can't remember if it was the director or the game, the company that did the games, Naughty Dog, if they came out and said that it was a ripoff of the game, or I believe it was Naughty Dog that said the last Mission Impossible was just a good, imitating their game was a form of flattery. And I guess that's what they're doing again with this film. I don't think there was anything super new as far as the action goes. Some of it was. I mean, there is a sequence that takes place on the top of a building with glass that I thought was really well done. It was an intense scene. It was really well done. There are some higher stakes in this film. Like, you get attached to some of these characters, and there are sequences that happen that will make you clench. The action is really well done. So this is another an A-list type of action movie, high budget for Netflix. The acting was just as good as it was in the first one. I don't think it was as visceral as the first film because, like I said, the first film had some action in it that was really unique. And this one, not so much. It was very stylistic, this film was, but I don't think it pushed the envelope in any way when it came to the action. There's one particular scene that they did release early where he is in a fight in a prison and how he gets kind of knocked on his head and is disoriented. And that's really well done. I like how they depict that in the film. It was really well done. And you feel like you're there with that character. And that was an attempt to do something new, but I don't think it was as effective as they thought it was, but it does give you a sense of that you're there and you're going through what Tyler was going through. It was really well done. So at the end of the day, let's talk about a rating on this. I still like the first Extraction more. There was something about that film that really struck me. And this film wasn't quite as good. Close, but not quite as good. So at the end of the day, I give the first one 4 stars. I give this one 3.5 stars. Very close, but not quite as visceral as the first movie. But it's still worth checking out. If you like the first one, you should definitely check it out. I do hope they make more movies in this franchise. I think it would be great to see. All right, my next review that I'm going to have coming up is going to be Heart of Stone. I'm looking forward to doing that review as well. So, again, if you haven't, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and you will be notified as I have new videos go up.